Genshin Impact is one of the most incredible video games that I have played in my entire life. I've been playing Genshin for just over a year now, and I love pretty much every single aspect about the game. Although clearly one of my favorite, if not my overall favorite aspect of Genshin is the lore. From the beginning of the game, the lore has been incredible, although the way that it's presented might not be. And that's what I kind of want to talk about today. Hey, are you still manually recording everything that you do in a video game? If so, why? Outplayed can record everything for you. You can set Outplayed up to capture nothing, everything, or just highlights or full matches. You can also set up hotkeys to make it start and stop recording for clips. Outplayed's game library is huge and it is only ever increasing. When your clips are recorded, you can open it in the in-app editor, trim it down to what you want it to be, and you can even share it with friends on Discord or upload straight to YouTube. Download Outplayed today. I think Genshin Impact lore is confusing. We learn a lot about the main plot of this game and Teyvat in the Archon quest. However, there's also hidden information hidden away in weapon lore and artifact lore, bucks scattered across the entire world. I mean, there's still some bucks in Encon and Mia that have lore that hasn't even come up in the game yet. There are a few crucial bits of information, in my opinion, that's presentation is not quite there. Now, I'm here today to share with you my ideas on what I would like to see from Genshin Impact quests and how lore's presented. So far, we have 4 types of quests. We have Archon quests, we have story quests, we have world quests, and then we have hangouts. We also have limited time event quests, but I'm not even going to delve into that right now because that in itself is a little bit of an issue. Now, Archon quests give us the bulk of the lore in Genshin, which is fantastic, and they do a pretty goddamn good job of it too. The story quests, honestly, if I'm gonna keep it real with you, a lot of the time feel like just hangout quests for 5-star characters, which I'm not entirely against. However, there are some which I feel could be more fleshed out and give us more information about the character. If I am unlocking a specific character's story quest, I kind of want a little bit more story of the character that I am unlocking it for, and that's not always the case that we get when we unlock them in Genshin. The hangout quests are fairly similar, but with a little bit more choices matter and impact in that sense. The world quests are usually fairly quick and not too important. However, lately we've been getting some very important world quests and also some incredibly fun world quests. Inazuma and Sumeru have had some incredible world quests, some of my favorite quests in the entire game. I just wish that they were voiced. And then we have limited time event quests, which honestly, some of them have been incredible, such as the lore from the Diluc event that was also hidden away. On top of the Knights of Favonia's headquarters, we got to know some Kaya lore, which a lot of people still don't even know existed. We have some things like the Guoba event and also Unreconciled Stars, the Albedo event, which, I'm going to be honest, I think these kind of things should not be locked behind limited time events. Events, sure. Limited time events that are not replayable? No. It's pretty important stuff. I mean, we get to meet characters for the first time in these events. We get to learn lore that hasn't happened in the Archon quest yet, maybe? Question mark? We don't know. And in my opinion, that's a problem. Now, I want to discuss story quests really quickly because my opinion on this is very different to a lot of people's, but I want to try and give a little bit of insight as to why I think the way I do. I think story quests that we unlock for a specific character should give us more information about the character than just showing them going about their daily life when it comes to NPCs. Now, if story quests are going to head in the direction that they are currently headed, which is doing that, basically showing how characters go about their daily life, or maybe giving a little bit of information about their backstory, then that is absolutely fine. For example, Cyno's story quest goes into quite a bit about his backstory. We learn about his previous partner and what happened to them, and it also gives us a little bit of further info about Cyno himself, why he acts the way he does and what he's been through in the past. And in my opinion, on the other hand, Nilou's story quest, although it's fantastic because it touches on a lot of real life issues, it pretty much centers around an NPC's relationship with their father. And to be honest, I personally didn't get much more info about Nilou than we already got from the Archon quest. The Archon quest already showed us that she was devoted to the theater and that it was her passion, and the story quest pretty much just solidified that, whereas I would have liked to have got maybe a little bit more into maybe why Nilou likes the theater so much and how she got to the point that she got to, instead of it just being basically a 5-star hangout quest. However, there's some additional kind of quests in Genshin which I would love to see added in the future to guarantee us insight on what that character has been through in the past. I would love for Genshin Impact to add vision quests. Now, the way that I see this, since we've had the Ayaka cinematic before showing how she got her vision, and we've seen a character in Genshin Impact receive a vision at this point, I would love to unlock a memory or something that shows and allows us to play as the character receiving their vision and going through the steps it took to get there. We know how a lot of characters got their visions because it's in their character story, but that's again another problem with the Genshin lore. It's not really presented, and a lot of it is told and not shown. I, along with many other people, prefer to play and actually experience these kind of things rather than just read it on a screen. And I'm not saying the lore's bad, the lore's fantastic in those events. I just think the way that it's presented could be much clearer and much better. But again, disclaimer, just a personal opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love, for example, if we received a Diluc quest where we got to play the story of how he got his vision. Would it be sad? Yes. Would it be dark? God, yes. Would it be enjoyable? Hell yes. And a lot of people haven't read the manga, so it'd probably fill in a few blanks. The same goes for someone like Chi-Chi. I think it would be incredible to see Chi-Chi before everything happened to her. I'm gonna try and not spoil here, but if you read her vision quest, you'll see how sad it is and you'll see how crazy it seems. I'd love to play through that and be able to see what went down. Now, the next thing I would love is replayable events, and I think a really easy way to do this, or a good way to do this, have you all ever seen Harry Potter? Now, bear with me here, because this is going to get off on a little bit of a tangent, but if you've ever seen the pensive in Harry Potter, where they get the wand, put it on the side of their head, pull out the memory and put it inside the little pool of water, and dip their head in to relive those experiences, I would love something like that for the teapot, where we can choose which limited event to re-download and just go back to as optional downloads. It'd also make it for a really cool room with the teapot, let's be honest. I think locking lore behind limited time events is really bad for the game, for the player base, and just full stop. I just don't think it's a great idea. And I understand the FOMO and everything like that, but come on. I just don't think it's needed. I really don't. And the final thing I'd like for the characters that maybe don't have visions or, you know, similar things, I would absolutely love to re-experience or relive the memories of the Archons, whether it's Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, whether it's Zhongli, Raiden, Venti in the Archon War and pre-Celestia, pre-Camria, but I'm assuming we'll get to pre-Camria at some point. I think it'd be very cool to re-experience the Archon War, see exactly what those people went through, some of the Archon stories, like Zhongli and Old Ajdaha or Guizhong, maybe Raiden slaying Orobashi. Imagine being able to play through that in the game. I personally would love that. I don't know about you. Some of the world quests off of the top of my head being the Rue quest, the Sacred Sakura Cleansing quest, the Aranara quest, and the Golden Slumber quest. All 4 of these world quests were not voiced and had fantastic lore. The reason I think it'd benefit them to be voiced is because they are very, very, very long quests. The Aranyaka quest was like 12 plus hours for a lot of people that were into the lore that don't just skip it. And 12 hours of reading Aranara names can get tiresome and it's kind of difficult sometimes. I do think if they were voiced, they'd flow a lot smoother. And also giving a voice to characters like Jebrail from the Golden Slumber quest, Rue, and Jet would just help bring so much more life to those characters that are already exuding with potential. I understand not every world quest in Genshin can be voiced, there's just too much, but the really long ones, I feel like it'd be so beneficial to give them a voice. Also, having voiced world quests would probably make the lore much easier to follow as well, rather than having to read every single thing on your screen. And you also have the option just to read if you'd like to. I, for one, retain a lot more information that I am told than information that I read. I probably missed a lot of things here, but I did really just want to go through my thoughts and ideas on different quest styles and see what everybody else thinks about it, because it's very interesting to see that some people absolutely love certain quests and some people absolutely hate certain quests, whereas I can understand everybody's opinion based on the quests. I'm not somebody who's going to sit here and say, I hated this quest, so should you. And things like that. It just doesn't make sense. Opinions are there to be had, and it's cool to understand people's opinions. But I am curious about your thoughts. How do you think the lore is presented in Genshin? Do you think it could be better? Do you think it's terrible? Do you think it's fantastic? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have any other ideas, let me know as well. Thank you for coming here and listening to my Genshin Impact lore trials and tribulations, I guess. And hopefully I see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.